Good morning, everyone. We are in Panama City, taking off right where we left off from before. We are off to try to get to somewhere, I guess. Acapulco. Panama City seemed a town perpetually on the edge of disaster. A great number of the inhabitants had emigrated to California during the gold rush 20 years ago. The 49ers, as they were called, had left empty spaces, which were quickly filled by new immigrants, creating a multiracial polyglot society. I went exploring, because why not, to see if I could find anything useful to our journey, and stumbled upon the construction of the Panama Canal. Great quantities of stone and dirt were being thrown into the air, undercut by the whistle steam escaping and boilers rumbling. As I watched, a tall, sharp-eyed fellow in a pinstripe suit glared at me. "You here to watch or work?" "I'm a visitor." "Are you now? Well," the man puffed out his cheeks. "I'm Gessner, the crew leader. I don't allow any watching on my dig site." He pointed to one of the steam shovels. "Get in." "Well, guess this is my life now." "Guess Junior will lead you right," he pronounced with finality, caressing the bucket of the great machine. Called your machine after your own name? I marveled at his hubris. "I designed all steam shovels, but Fanson gave them life. She's headed back to Haiti tomorrow morning. I don't know what I'll do without her." He nodded toward a tall black woman who was checking the fuel barrels, occasionally dipping a finger in a tarry black substance and tasting it. "Enough talk, time to give." I examined the levers closely, seeing as randomly yanking them all around would most likely cause significant problems. The winch squealed and began to raise the boom, much too quickly. I pulled back on the lever, but in my panic to seize the wrong one, because of course I did. I drove Gessner Jr. straight into a pile of rubble. His engines protested loudly and then sputtered out. Gessner hauled me out of the pilot seat. "You are a menace," he pronounced. "You should stay away from all machines. Clearly you are cursed." "Yes, because if you don't tell me how to run the machine and then I break it, it's automatically because I have been cursed." As I worked, I saw the woman called Fangchon move away from the site. If she were an artificer, perhaps she would be useful, but my shovel would not be stopped or slowed, and I worked until evening. "I want to go to Port-au-Prince." Just take my time, taking the sights. That evening, I strolled the streets, only to find myself face to face with Fanchon, the engineer Gessner had pointed out to me at the works. "Ah, a visitor from France," she smiled lopsidedly. "Have you come to take back your canal? It will not be so easy." She raised her fists playfully. "I was told you are leaving town, because that's what I want." She nodded. "I am indeed. I have a little craft of my own devising, but it needs a few parts. You know how these things are." "What kind of craft?" I asked, intrigued. "It's a kind of bird," she replied, "but she is, you might say, injured at the moment." "My master and I are going around the world," I declared. "How exciting for you." Though I do not think she meant it. And her eyes were moving away into the middle distance. "Perhaps we could travel with you?" I asked, "when your craft is repaired." She looked at me as though judging my character by inferring the way my parts fitted together. "As I say, it will take some time to repair. Or some manpower. Time and manpower, they are both realized by one thing." "Name your price," I told her. She named a figure, and it made my eyes water slightly. "Well, I will ask my master," I muttered and crept away quickly. I have long since given up any chance of beating this game in any semblance of records, as in I will fritter away my money and I will take forever to get home. So, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the ride. I made my way back to Monsieur Fogg, only to find myself accosted by a group of Panamanian dynamite blasters. Because that's a phrase you see every day. They were a mix of city boys and Choco immigrants from the village, united by their dislike of the Haitian digging crew. They seemed keen to talk, though I'm sure they'd also blocked my path. We are leaving Panama before our blood ends up in a vat. You should leave too, before, if you have any sense. Where are you headed? We are making for Tabatinga in the Amazonas. Chaffel gave me a considering look. We may have some space for men of talent and determination. I want to go with Waterface. Falchion. In the hope that if I forgot it, I would not accidentally suggest it to Monsieur Fogg. I thought of the interior of this vast continent and prayed it might stay unexplored by my tender feet. Please. Yeah, south? I don't want to go south. I want to go to Port-au-Prince. Okay, depart. 8,000? Bogota it is. Embark via steam shuttle. Goodness. We decided to head into the interior of the continent with the Panamanian dynamite blasters. Unfortunately, their escape plan involved stealing one of the steam shovels from the canal dig site and riding it the way to Tabatinga. It was a desperate plan. That's for tarn tootin' it's a desperate plan. Let me describe the theft of the steam shovel. It was hardly an elegant affair. For my part, I offered what help I could. A practical decision. The quicker the theft, the quicker our journey could begin. They put me on lookout duty. A lucky thing, too, as Gessner, the Haitian crew leader, decided to take a midnight stroll with his lady friend in the middle of our little adventure. I distracted Gessner with a few strategically thrown rocks and rattlings, which led him to follow me away from the canal site. I settled Monsieur Fogg upon the steam shovel and loaded our bags before they started the engine. We rode out of Panama City with our boom swinging free, destroying buildings and creating an unholy racket. The dynamite blasters, as their profession indicated, were not masters of stealth. We were gone before the Haitians roused from their beds. Still, I do not think we should return to Panama City anytime soon. Perhaps in a decade or two? Man. As the day progressed, the dynamite blasters stripped the steam shovel of its winch, bucket, and any other extraneous parts to speed up our journey. Belisario, one of the blasting crew, tried to remove the roof of the cabin, which would expose my master and me to the elements. No, he's been sick. I have to keep him alive. And they acquiesced with a grumble. We did not reach Medellin that night and had to camp under the copse of trees. At least we were under cover. Undercover meaning under some sort of cover, not undercover. Oh, dang it. I could have. Mateo, the youngest of the dynamite blasters, disappeared overnight. Sheffield's mouth set in a grim line, but he did not seem overly concerned. As we passed through the town of Medellin, we found him collapsed in front of a bar, clearly the worse for gin. Sheffield kicked Mateo's shin irately. Take him with us or leave him here. We put it to a vote. The remaining 4 dynamite blasters split evenly, with Sheffield voting against. He looked at me. So do I have mercy upon this little kid who's boozed up to the point of incapacitation? And get the chief? I'm going to keep him, for I shall show him mercy. And hopefully that won't bite me in the behind. Your heart is too soft. Sheffield grunted. Vaino, the only black member of the crew, picked Mateo up and tucked him behind the engine block, giving me a grateful smile as we rode away. See? I make friends. Sometimes. We made good time to Bogota and tumbled off the steam shovel with a variety of aches and bruises. Even Monsieur Fogg's phlegmatism seemed brittle. Perhaps we will find somewhere comfortable to spend the night, he said dispiritedly, his tone heavily implying that I was not capable of procuring such an accommodation. I nodded smartly. grabbed our luggage, and led the way to town. Behind us, the dynamite blaster cheered and clattered behind the trees. And here we are in Bogota. We did not get to Port-au-Prince as previously promised. And so it is with a heavy heart we arrive in Bogota, having rode a steam shovel all the way there. Good night, and good luck. Celebrated maniac Phileas Fogg fumbles far-fetched